Hello, knowledge seekers. In this episode of 20-Minute Books, we delve into Playing with Fire, Financial Independence, Retire Early by Scott Rieckens, a revealing journey into the heart of the FIRE movement. This 2019 book offers an intimate look into the author's transformative experience with financial independence, Retire Early, buttressing it with stories from a diverse set of individuals who have chosen to live life on their own financial terms. Embark on a narrative that not only chronicles Rieckens' personal saga from a conventional lifestyle into the liberating embrace of FIRE, but also lays out a roadmap for altering your spending and investment habits. Playing with Fire is more than a book. It's an invitation to reimagine what your life could look like if you pursued your deepest passions and lived with meaningful intention, free from the shackles of paycheck-to-paycheck existence. Scott Rieckens, an Emmy-nominated producer, author, and entrepreneur, brings to the table not only his professional acumen from producing content for heavyweights like Wired, Facebook, and NBC, but also his profound personal insights from his journey within the FIRE movement. His explorations culminated in a documentary, also titled Playing with Fire, solidifying his commitment and contribution to this life-altering ideology. Who is this book for? Whether you're dreaming of early retirement, a finance enthusiast keen on optimizing your financial strategies, or someone caught in the cycle of consumerism seeking a way out, Playing with Fire opens up new vistas of financial freedom and personal fulfillment. Join us as we uncover the essence of a movement that champions living more by owning less, guided by the compelling narrative of Scott Rieckens. Learn how financial independence is not just about retiring early, but about embracing a life rich in possibilities and choices. Playing with Fire, Financial Independence, Retire Early. How far would you go for financial freedom? Introduction. Discover the secret to early retirement and a purposeful life. In a society where the grind of 9 to 5 feels endless and the pursuit of luxury seems imperative, Scott Rieckens found himself caught in the relentless cycle of overwork to maintain a lifestyle he believed was essential. Yet, one ordinary morning, as he drove to work, a podcast featuring the financial savant Mr. Money Mustache transformed his worldview entirely. He was introduced to the FIRE movement, a beacon of hope for those seeking financial independence and an early retirement. This movement champions the idea of amassing wealth through aggressive savings and judicious investments, all to reclaim the most invaluable asset of all, time. Motivated by this newfound perspective, Rieckens embarked on an audacious journey. Within a mere 5 months, he left his job, slashed his family's living expenses by half, and initiated a documentary project to chronicle this transformative experience. Fast forward 2 years, Rieckens is a mere 9 years away from retirement, with the documentary Playing with Fire and a book detailing his journey both completed. This narrative peels back the layers on financial hacks that significantly enhance one's financial health, enabling a focus on life's true passions. Followers of the FIRE movement have harnessed their financial freedom to achieve various goals, from retiring early, making flexible career moves, engaging in passion projects, to simplifying their existence. Remarkably, the FIRE lifestyle doesn't require a hefty bank account or extreme sacrifices. Instead, it's a gateway to a more intentional and fulfilling life, accessible to anyone willing to take the leap. Through this journey, you'll uncover insightful tips on various financial aspects, including the savvy way to purchase a car without breaking the bank, demystifying the risks associated with investing your savings in the stock market, and understanding that adopting the FIRE lifestyle doesn't mean having to forego joyous occasions like Christmas shopping. Embark on this enlightening path to discover how to leverage financial strategies not only to retire early, but also to lead a more meaningful and intentional life. Part 1. From Feeling Trapped to Financial Freedom, the FIRE Epiphany. For many, The golden years of retirement are a distant dream expected to materialize sometime in their mid-60s, a norm ingrained by societal expectations and the daunting prospect of securing a comfortable pension. This conventional path often necessitates a relentless pursuit of material success, a pursuit that, ironically, locks individuals into a cycle of overwork and dissatisfaction. The allure of consumer culture, promising happiness through an accumulation of luxuries, leaves little room for the most valuable of currencies, time itself. Yet, it was within this very paradox that Scott Rieckens discovered a lifeline in the form of the FIRE movement, offering not just an exit but a transformation from the unsustainable treadmill of consumerism to a life of freedom and meaningful experiences. In 2016, Rieckens found himself entrenched in the picturesque yet financially draining lifestyle of Coronado, California. As a creative director, he and his wife Taylor seemed to epitomize success, affording daily luxuries while dutifully contributing to their retirement accounts. With a substantial combined income post-taxes, it felt only natural to indulge in high-end appliances and regular dining out. Yet beneath the surface gloss, financial insecurity lurked. Dreams of home ownership and a college fund for their new daughter clashed with the harsh reality of their savings, a mere $10,000 annually. Faced with the daunting prospect of chaining himself to a career that left no room for his entrepreneurial aspirations, Rieckens was on the brink of despair. Salvation came unexpectedly through a serendipitous encounter with Mr. Money Mustache, aka Peter Dini, on The Tim Ferriss Show. Adeni, who achieved financial independence and retired at the tender age of 30, had since inspired a legion of followers, the Mustachians. They were united by a common goal: to escape the financial pressures of modern life much earlier than society dictates. Fueled by the principles of the FIRE movement, financial independence, retire early, Rieckens found a glimmer of hope. Armed with a simple retirement calculator, he uncovered a startling possibility. By halving their expenses and smartly investing the surplus, he and his wife could potentially retire in a mere decade. It was a moment of profound clarity for Rieckens. The path to altering their future didn't rely on an elusive stroke of luck, but on a decisive shift in lifestyle, a shift from pursuing extraneous luxuries to focusing on what truly mattered. This epiphany didn't just pave the way for financial liberation, it offered a roadmap to a life rich in purpose and freedom, untethered from the constraints of an overindulgent culture. Part 2: Unlocking the door to work-life flexibility with financial independence. The concept of retiring early might conjure images of endless days with nothing to do, but here's the twist. Achieving financial independence through the FIRE movement rarely leads to a conventional retirement. Instead, it opens a myriad of opportunities for pursuing life with unparalleled freedom. Financial independence is essentially amassing enough wealth to cover your living expenses indefinitely, liberating you from the necessity of working for money. However, the allure of FIRE lies not in ceasing work altogether, but in the ability to choose your work freely, without financial constraints dictating your choices. Take Sylvia's story, for example. Graduating from law school in 2005, she was all set for a prosperous career when Hurricane Katrina turned her life upside down. The catastrophe instilled in her a profound understanding of the transient nature of material possessions, prompting her to embrace frugality. By keeping her grocery bills under $50 and moonlighting as a delivery driver, even after clearing her student loans, Sylvia used her lawyering as a stepping stone rather than a chain. Today, at 38 and 6 years into her financial independence, Sylvia's not idling. She's leveraged her financial freedom to venture into starting her law firm, an endeavor that might have remained a pipe dream without the security that FIRE provided. And Sylvia's story is just one leaf on the tree. Countless individuals have utilized their financial independence to explore the world, devote themselves to philanthropic causes, or dive into their creative pursuits. The liberty to tailor your life's path is perhaps the most compelling dividend of FIRE. But the question looms. How much wealth do you need to achieve this financial nirvana? The FIRE formula simplifies the equation. Aim to save and invest 25 times your annual expenses. For Scott Rieckens and his family, targeting an annual expenditure of $60,000 meant accumulating a retirement nest of $1.5 million. The principle is straightforward. Invest this fortune wisely, and a moderate return rate can sustain your lifestyle perpetually. Adhering to the 4% rule, withdrawing no more than 4% of your nest egg annually, the Rieckens could comfortably live off $75,000 a year. This strategic formula not only ensures their principal amount remains untouched, but also creates a financial buffer to withstand market fluctuations and inflation. With the math laid bare, the challenge shifts to curtailing annual expenses to the projected $60,000, a hurdle that is daunting yet surmountable, with discipline and a redefined perspective on necessity versus luxury. Achieving financial independence through FIRE is not just about retiring early. It's about embracing life on your terms, free from the golden handcuffs of conventional employment. Part 3. Mastering the Art of Financial Freedom. Save more, spend less, invest wisely. At the heart of the FIRE movement lies a remarkably straightforward formula for financial liberation. Meticulously manage your expenses and amass assets that generate enough income to cover your lifestyle indefinitely. But how exactly does one begin this journey toward financial independence and early retirement? It starts with gaining a crystal clear view of your financial landscape. The inaugural step towards achieving this clarity involves tracking every single dollar flowing through your life. By understanding your past year's spending and saving patterns, you're better equipped to identify areas ripe for improvement. Aiming to save between 50 to 70% of your income might appear overwhelming at first blush, but focusing on the triumvirate of major expenses, housing, transportation, and food, can dramatically simplify the process. Take Scott and Taylor, for example. Just 5 weeks after embracing the FIRE ethos, they embarked on a pilgrimage in search of a new, cost-effective domicile. It led them to Bend, Oregon, an idyllic locale offering affordable housing, excellent schools, and a wealth of recreational activities. Their decision to downsize to a single vehicle was another stride towards reducing expenditure, opting for a used, all-wheel drive Honda CR-V for $7,500. After considering the sage advice from Brandon, the mind behind the fire-centric Mad Fientist blog, on the financial imprudence of leasing a depreciating asset like a car. When it came to optimizing their savings, the Rieckenses were relative novices in the realm of investing. Diversifying their portfolio, they spread their funds across low-cost index funds, real estate, and entrepreneurial endeavors, striking a balance between growth potential and risk management. Index funds in particular stood out as a cornerstone of their investment strategy. Mimicking the broader market's movements, these funds typically yield an approximate 10% return annually, minus a minuscule management fee, a fact not lost on investment heavyweights like Warren Buffett, who lauds them as a superior alternative to costly money management services. Despite the simplicity of the FIRE approach, the volatile nature of the stock market can be a source of unease for some. It's essential to remember that flexibility is a key component of FIRE. Adjusting your savings targets or altering your withdrawal rate to better align with your comfort level are viable strategies to mitigate financial anxiety. Whether it entails a longer career runway or a more frugal lifestyle, these adjustments ensure that the pathway to financial independence remains tailored to your personal preferences and circumstances. Part 4. Igniting the flame of fire in your relationships and beyond. Embracing the FIRE lifestyle can be a transformative experience, one that you'll likely want to share with those closest to you, particularly your partner. The journey toward financial independence is not just a solo venture, but a shared expedition that deeply benefits from mutual understanding and shared goals. If you're hesitant about how your partner will receive the concept of fire, consider starting the conversation with the 10 things exercise, as suggested by the author. This exercise serves as a gentle entry point, helping to illuminate shared values without immediately diving into potentially contentious discussions about money. The author himself experienced trepidation about introducing the topic to his wife Taylor, fearing that it might be dismissed as yet another fleeting entrepreneurial pursuit. Moreover, given that Taylor was the primary earner, the proposal to scale back on luxuries could have been a sensitive issue. However, suggesting they each write down the 10 things that brought them the most joy on a weekly basis proved to be an enlightening activity. Their lists shared remarkable similarities, emphasizing time with family, outdoor activities, and notably, excluding the expensive beach lifestyle they had been cultivating. This revelation created a natural segue into discussing fire, demonstrating how their spending habits were not aligned with their true values. When it comes to broaching the subject with friends, a less direct approach might be advisable. Advocating for a drastic lifestyle overhaul can be overwhelming for some, potentially putting them on the defensive. Instead, fostering connections within the fire community can be both inspiring and affirming. Scott's foray into creating a documentary about their fire journey led them unexpectedly into the heart of the community. Their project caught the eye of Travis Shakespeare, a senior vice president at BBC Worldwide and fellow fire enthusiast, who offered to direct. Through this endeavor, Scott and Taylor encountered many luminaries and practitioners within the fire movement, from Mr. Money Mustache to individuals at various stages of their own fire journeys. Their participation in Camp Mustache, initially anticipated with a degree of skepticism by Taylor, revealed the inclusive and diverse nature of the fire community. Far from the cult-like gathering she had envisioned, Taylor discovered a group of like-minded individuals who shared a common philosophy but came from varied backgrounds. This experience underscored that the fire movement is united not by homogeneity, but by a collective pursuit of consciously aligned values, financial independence, and the freedom to live life on one's own terms. By framing the conversation around shared passions and demonstrating the inclusive community that surrounds fire, introducing loved ones to the concept becomes an invitation to explore a future defined by freedom, shared dreams, and deliberate living. Part 5. Embracing financial independence for everyone. Flexibility at the core of fire. You might be under the impression that the path to financial independence through the FIRE, Financial Independence Retire Early movement, is reserved for those with hefty paychecks. The notion could easily arise: how can one possibly save 25 times their annual expenses on an average salary? However, the essence of FIRE transcends income levels, embodying a mindset shift towards valuing happiness and contentment over material wealth. Consider the story of Kaylin, a 26-year-old management analyst from Evans, Colorado. Facing the grim prospect of a traditional retirement at 65, she encountered what's known as millennial depression. The reality of being tethered to the workforce for decades was daunting, to say the least. Yet, Kaylin's introduction to the FIRE movement, thanks to a suggestion from her boyfriend Kyle's mother, marked a turning point. With a modest combined income of under $50,000, Kaylin and Kyle embraced the principles of frugality and investment that underpin FIRE. Despite their limited earnings, their strategic financial management has them on track to reach financial independence within 6 years, fundamentally challenging the misconception that FIRE is only for the affluent. Their journey underscores the movement's core philosophy. Happiness is not a commodity to be bought, but a state to be achieved through mindful living, irrespective of one's paycheck. The narrative of FIRE often conjures images of extreme lifestyle austerity, but its true beauty lies in its inherent adaptability. The journey of Scott and his wife, Taylor, offers a poignant illustration of this flexibility. Their ambitious pursuit of financial independence encountered an unexpected hurdle during the festive season, illuminating the restrictive potential of an overly rigid approach to saving. With a paltry budget remaining for Christmas gifts, they faced the risk of dampening the holiday spirit for themselves and their loved ones. Yet, this challenge spurred creativity and reinforced the principle that fire is not about forsaking joy for frugality's sake. By gifting their daughter Jovi secondhand books and thoughtfully selecting presents for their nieces while opting out of gifts for friends, they discovered a balanced approach. This experience was a crucial lesson in the art of intentional spending, aligning their financial choices with their core values without blindly adhering to austerity. As Scott and Taylor's journey demonstrates, the essence of fire lies not in the relentless pursuit of scrimping, but in the empowered decision to live according to one's values, seeking happiness beyond the confines of consumer culture. Whether on a modest income or with a budget constrained by unforeseen circumstances, the flexibility of fire allows individuals from all walks of life to forge their paths to financial independence, underscoring the movement's universal applicability and transformative potential. Final summary: the essence of embracing the fire, financial independence, retire early, movement transcends mere financial strategy. It's a profound act of reclaiming your life by aligning your daily habits and consumption with your deepest values. Whether it involves relocating to a more affordable area or simply forgoing the daily coffee shop run, the journey toward financial independence is both accessible and transformative. Fire embodies the potential to dramatically reduce the years spent working, thanks to a combination of diligent savings and judicious investment. Yet at its core, the movement is not merely a pathway to early retirement. It is a call to intentional living, a paradigm shift that encourages individuals to scrutinize their spending, making choices that reflect what truly matters to them. This lifestyle doesn't solicit a one-size-fits-all approach. It champions flexibility, offering myriad ways to reduce expenses and increase savings, tailored to individual priorities and life circumstances. From the profound joy of spending quality time with family to the simple pleasure of nature's embrace, fire prompts a reevaluation of what brings genuine happiness, far beyond the temporary allure of material possessions. By adopting the principles of fire, you're not just embarking on a financial venture, you're stepping into a realm of personal empowerment. This journey beckons you to live more authentically, ensuring that every dollar spent and every sacrifice made propels you closer to a life rich in meaning and devoid of financial strain. The promise of fire is not just early retirement, but the liberation to live a life thoroughly aligned with your values. Thank you for joining me today on this journey of learning and discovery as we explored the insights of another thought-provoking book in our growing library of knowledge. If you've enjoyed our time together, please take a moment to follow our podcast, give us a 5-star rating, and share 20-minute books with other knowledge seekers. Your support truly means a lot. Don't forget to join me again in the next episode, where we will delve into another enriching book. Until then, happy reading and happy listening.